Welcome
Dun, dun,
everyone to the
dun.
welcome everyone to the Everything Show, episode 434, the season premiere. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Hayden. What's up, Hayden?
The Fall Awakens.
That's right. What's up, James?
May the force be with you. Zoom, zoom.
So today's
I
the
got
day of
something
season
special today. Hold on.
premieres. Yeah, let's show us.
The
Oh,
Force Awakens. Oh, that's
there we go.
gorgeous.
That's cool, man. That's
That is
awesome.
nice. So, let's kick it off. Joe, did you attend Force Friday at all?
We went to Toys R Us.
Yeah.
But they sold out of a lot of stuff by the time I got there because I worked on Friday. So
Yeah. So, did you get anything at all for The Force Awakens?
I didn't get anything yet, but I'm gonna probably get it when I get closer to the time.
Yeah. Because we still got the second wave of toys coming out soon.
Yes,
That'll feature Luke Skywalker, Han Solo.
we did buy. I think we bought a shirt for Joe, Kylo Ren, and what else
Yep.
did we buy? We bought some Star Wars stuff, right? Socks. Kylo Ren socks for the kids and a whole bunch of. We bought some Star Wars stuff, not like the figures or anything, but we're gonna be. I'm just focused on the Doctor Who figures. Now I'm gonna start, getting some Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
But
Lightsabers stuff.
the question is, Star Wars. We'll go through the rumors before we get to the news.
Okay.
I have a bit of a I'm pretty adamant now about who's playing who.
Okay.
And as we know, the main character of the film is Rey, played by Daisy Ridley.
Right.
Yep.
She's the main character. John Boyega's the second main character.
Now let me take a guess. Is that Luke Skywalker's daughter?
Yes,
Okay.
that is Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Okay.
I'm
Who is the stormtrooper
betting.
guy?
Huh?
Who's the stormtrooper guy?
I think he's just a new guy.
Okay.
Just an original character who they've just invented.
Okay.
Because not everybody has to be related, I guess.
Right.
But
Nope.
the rumor is pretty adamant that Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son and Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Excellent. Now, is it also true that in the eighth one there are going to be other solos introduced?
No, we don't know yet. That's all rumor for now.
Okay.
But speaking of Episode 8, they have started filming. And Mark Hamill is back as Luke Skywalker, of course.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's confirmed.
But nobody
And
else is,
he's-
right?
Shaved his beard off.
Nice.
Wow.
If you can see in the photo here.
I saw him in the bar.
Yeah.
That's right. I saw them
Yeah.
in the bar making drinks.
If
That
you
was
have a look
pretty cool.
here, he has a very similar hairstyle to that of Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Now, I will get a photo up of Luke in The Empire Strikes Back. If we can see here.
Yeah.
Exact same haircut.
Yep.
So really,
30
he
years
doesn't
later.
look that much different. He pretty much looks the same.
Right.
So Mark
Yeah, a
Hamill
little heavier.
he's looking good. He's lost a bit of weight. I think he's lost 50 kilos.
Right.
Oh.
So he's looking really good. So that's all good. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker returns in Star Wars Episode 8, which is being filmed right now, as a matter of fact.
Now, I heard a rumor that Yoda returns as a ghost in 8. Did we hear anything about that?
No, I have not heard that.
Okay.
We've also got some news that Rey will indeed have a Coruscantian accent in the Force
Oh.
Awakens.
Okay. That's
So that
interesting.
means she was born maybe on Coruscant. You heard the leaks of Finn's voice. He has an American accent as well.
Okay.
Um,
What about Max
Hang
von
on.
Sydow?
Max von Sydow is playing, I think he's playing like a town sheriff kind of thing in Jakku in the first scene of the movie.
So he's not Boba Fett then.
He's not Boba Fett, no.
Boba
He's just
Fett.
playing. He's an ex-Imperial who kind of defected from the Empire when the Battle of Jakku took place after Episode 6.
I
And
thought
he,
Boba Fett
um,
was still in that creature's belly getting devoured. So he get out.
In the novel Star Wars Aftermath, they do mention that they found chewed-up Mandalorian armor, but it had no body inside it, so they think that he's escaped the armor.
Oh, okay.
But that lends credence to the fact that the Boba Fett movie is going to be about another guy taking on the Mandalorian armor and claiming the name Boba Fett.
Yeah, because Boba Fett is just a clone of a Jango Fett, right?
Well, yeah. So, from the looks of things, if it's true,
I thought that they
Boba
said
Fett.
that the Boba Fett we've all known was a different guy, not a clone of Jango Fett. That he just took the armor.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, maybe that's what's going to happen after Episode 6. The armor that has been Chernobyl Aftermath is going to be what the new Boba Fett takes on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So we won't have no Jabba since they killed off Jabba the Hutt?
No. No, I don't
Nope.
think so. It's disappointing. Maybe in the Han Solo movie, though, we can find out how he started, smuggling things for him
Yeah.
and how he owed him that money.
Yeah.
And he conned, what's the name, after Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, I heard Lando's
Yeah.
in the next one too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what we think. But I think
Yeah,
we're now
no.
90 days away from The Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 18th over there, hey Joe, so exactly 3 months for you.
That's right.
3 months to
So
go.
you get to
Who
see
thought?
Doctor Who sometime today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Lucky.
actually see it at night, I believe, like everybody else,
Yeah.
because we're gonna
Me
do
too.
stuff. Yeah.
So it's all exciting times, isn't it, for all us fans?
Oh, yeah.
And we got James Bond also.
Yep. Spectre.
Yes.
Spectre.
It's a good time.
And we also have Fantastic Four 2 coming out.
Oh, what? Two? Two?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Apparently,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, actually, they find out that Johnny Storm and Sue have another adopted sibling that's Chinese. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I heard
Get
that.
out of here.
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
they're going to be called. They're going to be called Wing Long Storm, and they're going to have the powers of the ancient flying bat.
I gotta tell you how bad that was. Oh my God.
What?
And Michael B. Jordan did not win me over as Johnny Storm because he was not Johnny Storm. And it didn't matter if he was black, white, Chinese, whatever. He was just horrible as Johnny Storm.
Like they're trying to do like Too Fast, Too Furious or something. That car
Yeah.
racing scene.
Like,
Really? What they
okay,
gotta do?
what about the womanizer? He's supposed to be a womanizer too, Johnny Storm, and all that. Like a popular,
Exactly.
was not Johnny Storm. And Reed Richards was terrible. He's supposed to be a leader, and he's running away. Was god awful. She was god awful as Invisible Woman or Invisible Girl. And Doctor,
She's
they
supposed to be
were
on the
all,
planet with them, you know.
and they made Doctor Doom like a cool guy. They gave a fake look like he's upset that that Reed's talking to Sue, but he's hanging out, he's drinking with them. I'm like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, he loves Franklin Storm, the father, and all of a sudden he comes back as Doctor Doom. He kills him. That makes no sense. It's like, oh,
Here's
dude.
that
was
I just
bad.
found some news in case any of you guys are interested.
Tell me, before you go into that, tell me that wasn't the greatest scene when Ben Grimm goes to give a high five to Reed, and Reed's like 7 foot tall, or Ben Grimm's like 3 foot tall. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
What?
Ben Grimm is supposed to be taller. He's supposed to be a football
Exactly.
jock. Okay?
Yeah, he's supposed to be
And
like at
Reed's
least
supposed to be a
17.
little scrawny guy, like whatever. You know?
And it can stretch.
Not reverse like that. Yeah.
Did they read the script before they started filming this thing or what?
Stan Lee said it failed because he wasn't in it and he never got to review the script. That's why.
Well, I got some news.
Yeah, let's get out of the Fantastic Four funk.
Yeah, for real.
Is Ray's staff actually a double-bladed lightsaber?
It looked like it.
Could this be
And
what
it's
we're looking
blue.
at as the new saber?
Where did you get that picture?
I like
As
it.
in, I have found this online. I can't tell you where.
I did not know that she had a Darth Maul type lightsaber.
Well, we don't know, but someone's photoshopped the blades onto the ends.
Yeah.
So
and
no,
made-
wait, that's
made it light.
fake.
But that's what people think the staff is. A double-bladed lightsaber.
So wait,
That'd be cool.
that's a fake lightsaber, in other words?
Well, that's a real staff. She's actually holding that, but someone's photoshopped the blue.
Oh,
saber.
so in other words, you don't know it's a lightsaber. It just looks like a...
Yeah, but that's what the big rumor is. But we've also got some trading cards released from the film, and they reveal John Boyega is a rebel, Rey is a Jedi and a rebel, and Kylo Ren has the Sith symbol, whatever.
But he's not a Sith, though.
But
No,
I guess there's
or
not going to
Jedi.
be there's not going to be a symbol that represents Knights of Ren just doing that.
So it has to be a Sith, right? Okay.
So he's just a rebel, and she's definitely a Jedi from the looks of things.
So is that like tying in the Star Wars Rebels or something?
Nah, not at all. Rebels is like before Episode 4, so I think if Rebels was to tie into anything, it would just be Episode 4.
Yeah.
The thing
Or
about
in
I think
between,
Force
something like
Awakens is, yeah, it's going to be completely new.
Now,
Not gonna know
Captain
anything.
Phasma, is that like the Boba Fett of the movie?
I don't think so. I think she's just the leader of the stormtroopers who are
Oh,
hunting.
they're not making her into like a big type of Boba Fett character?
Nah. The only thing
Really?
about it, Boba Fett was never a big character. He had like 3 scenes in Empire Strikes
Yeah,
Back, and like
but he
one
was
scene.
big just because everybody loved him and he didn't have that many scenes. So maybe
Well, I guess if Captain Phasma, everyone loves her, I guess she'll be big too then.
I think they will. But okay, all right.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. But besides that, I don't know what much
Well,
news
who's the
else to have.
bounty
Where are you
hunter?
caught up to?
Who's the
There's
bounty
not a
hunter?
bounty hunter.
There's
Not
no
in this
bounty
one.
hunter.
Nah, I don't think this story needs a bounty hunter.
And Han Solo does die in this,
Oh,
Well,
man.
yeah, definitely.
and his son
So they
kills
blew up
him.
the Millennium Falcon?
If Kylo Ren is his son, then yes, I think he kills him.
And he's
Wow.
totally evil then.
But I'm
So is
yeah,
Luke gonna-
I'm just
is Luke
praying
gonna
that
turn to the
Rey
dark
is
side?
Luke's daughter, not Han's daughter. I'd rather
Yeah.
her be Luke's daughter because I'd rather it be about a Skywalker, not a Solo.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, I am your brother. And be like, no, I don't want to hear that.
I don't want it to be like.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because the movie is about them trying to find Luke Skywalker. That's the plot of the film.
Oh, okay.
So
And he-
it wouldn't make sense if you were going with your dad to find your uncle. Wouldn't it make sense if you were going with your uncle to find your dad?
right,
Yeah.
It'd make more sense if it was about her looking for her dad, not
Her
her
uncle,
looking
right.
for her uncle.
right. And yeah, okay.
So I'm going with the theory that she is Luke's daughter.
Me too.
So
She
where's the
looks a
mother?
lot similar to Mark Hamill. If you look at some close-ups and frame images, her nose and her chin and her cheekbones are pretty similar.
Right.
Um,
What about the rumored flashback sequence in this, where Darth Vader?
I know. What I've heard is there are 2 flashback sequences in the film.
Okay.
The first is a flashback to the Bespin Cloud City fight scene from Return of the Jedi, where Luke falls onto the antenna,
Uh-huh.
and he loses his hand. You know, his hand falls into the clouds after
Yeah.
he falls onto the antenna. I've heard that it's that, but from kind of a different camera angle when the camera drops, and instead of showing Luke up there, it shows where the saber fell to.
So in other words, they filmed that back then, but they just didn't show it.
No. They've obviously refilmed it now,
Oh, okay.
but they're kind of saying how they, because it is Anakin Skywalker's saber. If you watch the trailer that they've
Right.
got, it is that saber. So they're kind of
Yeah.
saying, well, how did it come into the hands of these
Luke?
characters? And they're going to
these
show you
characters,
how the
yeah.
saber kind of went through it. The second flashback sequence is where in the trailer we see Luke Skywalker putting his hand onto R2-D2.
But he looks like an android.
Yeah, well, that's because it's a battle sequence, and apparently, according to MakingStarWars.net, who have leaked everything, and everything's been true that they've leaked so far, they've basically said there's a battle sequence, there's a bunch of dead bodies on the ground, and Luke Skywalker walks through the battle and goes to R2, puts his hand on him, and this is kind of revealed in there. It's kind of, they go to Maz Kanata's castle, which is a character played by Lupita Nyong'o, a motion capture character. And there's a bunch of pirates there and stuff. If you saw any of those photos of all those weird creatures,
Okay.
that's kind of the middle of the movie. There's like a bar there and stuff. There'll be like a cantina band playing there and stuff. So that's the second act of the movie.
Hmm.
And that's that green planet that you see in the trailers with the water and stuff. The
Right.
end of the movie is the whole snow planet, Hoth or something.
Oh, again? They're going back to Hoth again.
I don't know if it's Hoth.
Wow.
They said it was a snow planet converted into the Starkiller base.
Okay.
Starkiller
Does the Millennium Falcon?
base, yeah.
Does the Millennium Falcon blow up?
No.
Okay.
Chewie, BB-8, and Rey command the Falcon now at the
Okay.
end of the film,
Okay.
and they take
Right.
it to the island where Luke is.
Another question: why does C-3PO have a red arm?
Well, it's explained in a novel that's come out on Force Friday. Basically, there was a battle or whatever, and C-3PO lost an arm. But at the same time, people say, why didn't he just get another gold arm? Well, why didn't he just get a gold leg? He had a silver leg throughout the original trilogy.
Right.
So I think it's just their way of saying... Because you got to remember, there was a 19-year gap between Episode 3 and 4. There's a 35-year gap between 6 and 7. There's double the amount of time, basically, between 3 and 4 that there is between 6 and 7. So a lot of stuff's happened in this gap.
Right.
Like, think about your age, Joe. You're, what, 40 now?
I am 41.
So basically, 35 years of your life, think of your whole life. That's basically the gaps that's happened between these two movies. That's how much stuff's gone on, basically.
Right.
Think about just the daily, you get walking to work in the morning and what could happen, and you tell Sharon about it.
Right.
You think of 35 years worth of...
Well, that's why I think I was pissed off when, after Return of the Jedi, I didn't get a Star Wars thing until the special editions, and then we got the prequels, and then I'm still been dying for Episode 7.
But
for forever.
We're getting it in 3 months to the day.
Listen, there's always... I'm going to say this.
In 3 months' time.
There is always going to be Star Wars. Okay?
Yeah.
When I'm long gone and my kids are taking their kids to the movie, there's going to be Star Wars movies.
But the thing is, Star Wars, it's everyone on the planet loves Star Wars.
I know, everybody.
Yep.
I'm shocked that it got sold for $4 billion. That's cheap. That's a bargain.
That's cheap because one movie could possibly make that.
Yeah.
Well, they're projecting
or 2 billion,
2.5 billion right now.
Right, 2.5 billion.
Well, I don't know. If Jurassic World beats Star Wars, I'm going to be shocked because Jurassic World was average as hell.
It's going to have the Titanic syndrome. It comes out. It comes out in December, like Titanic did, and it's going to be #1 until Rogue One knocks it down, or
what about
a Marvel movie. No, I mean, well, maybe. I mean, but it's still going to be #1 for a while.
Oh yeah, well, we're just gonna hope if it's a good movie, it'll make $2 billion. If it's a great movie, it'll make $3 billion.
It's gonna destroy Avatar, and it's gonna make close to $3 billion. I'm telling you.
Yeah. It can't
well,
be
how
no
many
worse
times are you planning on
than
saying
3
that?
prequels. It can't be no worse than 3 prequels.
First of all, that's the only movie in history that's the most time I ever went to the movies was the Star Wars movies. I basically went every friggin' week. So, I can't even count how many times I went to see these movies. That was the only movie that I was allowed to see multiple times. That my parents.
Are you going to see this multiple times?
Absolutely.
Are you? How excited are you to see this? Because my dad's your age. My dad's 40, and he's losing his mind over it.
I'm losing my shit because basically, I'm a kid. It's like I'm a kid. I've been dying for this. I always said it since I was little. I said there's definitely going to be an episode 7. I know there's going to be an episode 7. I didn't even think of the prequels.
I guess your generation just always wanted to see what happened next after Return of the Jedi.
I wasn't really. I'm like, okay, it would be nice to see the prequels, but I wasn't really into that. I wanted to see after.
Yeah. But I guess when you think about it from this point of view, because my dad was saying when he was in kindergarten, 5 years old, he was playing with Luke Skywalker in the sandpit and all that. You know, it's like
I brought all my Star Wars. I brought my Star Wars figures to school, and I had I had my Darth Vader case. You know, and then I, after a while I didn't bring it because people wanted to take figures and stuff. But that's what everybody brought to school: Star Wars figures.
And think how much that stuff worth now, though. All the original.
I still got my stuff. I still got my stuff. I still got my figures. I don't have the vehicles anymore. I don't have the AT-ST. I don't have the AT Walker. I don't have the Millennium Falcon, Slave One. I don't have any of that stuff. But I had everything.
We're excited for it, though. I guess you're excited for it, but you've been burnt by the prequels before. But I think once you go to the movies, and I think if you actually, oh my God, Star Wars has happened again, you're going to go obsessed.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's kind of. I'm kind of like when I love Star Wars, but I have the Master Qui-Gon what's midichlorians in my head. I'm like, and the stupid Jar Jar. I mean, honestly, I'm not showing it, but believe me when I tell you, I'm going to be so crazy when that comes out.
But did you
Did you ever get a chance?
The trailer? Did you go nuts?
Well, didn't you see my reaction video?
Nah.
I was screaming. I was at work.
Was that the most nuts you've ever gone over a trailer in your life?
I was basically flipping out.
Was it
Whoever
worse
was
than
whoever,
Doctor Who trailer?
oh, I freaking went way worse, way
Yeah.
crazy, because whoever was around me at work that saw it with me, it didn't matter what race, nationality, everybody knew Star Wars. Everybody went crazy,
That's
crazy. That was the greatest thing.
I'll never forget when I saw the first trailer for Force Awakens. Remember that first trailer that came out, and then the Falcon at the end.
Yeah. In fact, when the trailer came out, I was on my lunch break, so it worked out great because I was like going nuts.
Did you cry at all?
I just, you know what, I got the chills when I saw Han's like, Chewie, we're home. I'm like, oh my god, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like
I got goosebumps because they had Luke Skywalker's dialogue from Return of the Jedi.
You know what, that gave me the chills when I was like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing this. You know, and that was the one good news when Hurricane Sandy happened, right? Yeah. And everything was like.
I remember you were making like 10 videos a day on Star Wars 7 News when it started.
What happened was it was announced when I had no power and I couldn't even make videos on it. But that was the one news to me that showed hope because it's like, oh man, we got to live through this because we got to go see Star Wars. We got to get out of this, but we got to go see Star Wars. It's like, wow.
Yeah,
that was one of the first videos I saw of yours just after I subscribed to you was when you started doing the Star Wars stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a traumatic experience, Sandy, but when I heard that news, it was like, it was something to look forward to. Great news. You know, I was dying. I couldn't wait.
It was definitely exciting.
They even said, we know that the hurricane happened,
did they call the Emperor?
Is it going to be the Emperor in there?
Yeah,
I'm going to say, as a ghost, 40%. Anything more, 0%.
0%.
So the Sith have ghosts?
Him as a ghost is 40%, but anything more than that, 0%.
So you're not going to say that the Crimson Guard's purpose, like they didn't have an overall plan?
They're moving on with the story. They're not going back. You know, they want to start a fresh story. You know,
they don't want the Emperor. They want something new. Okay.
They want Supreme Leader Snoke to be the new Emperor.
Okay.
And Snoke is
Hi, Gloria.
Darth Plagueis.
Hi, Gloria. We're getting Star Wars out over here, and you're muted. Why are you muted? Exactly.
She always comes in muted for some reason.
Yay!
Hey.
But we're getting
Gloria, you like this? You're like,
apparently.
you're all muted. You like this?
Apparently, we're getting the next trailer on October 15.
Gloria's dressing up like Princess Leia, she said.
Yeah.
For the premiere.
Carrie Fisher.
So for right now, Luke Skywalker is the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars, right?
Yes.
He could destroy Star Destroyers. He could destroy Star Destroyers, right? Yeah.
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 Well, we always thought Luke Skywalker was the greatest Jedi of all time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's the greatest Jedi of all time.
The next day,
he's the chosen one, right?
The show for the podcast.
What?
And then the next day after, I'll wear it for the podcast.
What are you gonna wear? The white outfit?
Yeah, the white outfit with the buns. Yeah.
You're gonna put your hair in the buns?
Yep.
It was nuts because we went to that Force Friday midnight launch, and we were like, the doors of Target were opening. We were running under the doors, bolting, pulling over all the shelves.
If I didn't have to work, I would be there like a kid.
I think I spent $400. I spent $400 on the toys.
I guarantee you, when Star Wars.
I wonder what I spent on you guys.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I know. So.
I think it's gonna have a better opening than Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron was an average movie at best.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
None of the Marvel films have been absolutely incredible films. They've all been good films. None of them have been like, oh my god, I can not stop thinking about that Marvel movie.
Civil War would be.
Oh, I like the second Captain America though. That's pretty cool.
But have you seen what Civil War is?
They're just
Iron
basically
Man versus Cap.
they're fighting each other.
No, it's. Have you watched the trailer?
I don't think we saw the trailer.
Yeah, the leaked trailer
I
came
do.
out.
Oh,
for,
with the choppy stuff, with the crossbones and stuff.
basically, the big
Yeah,
civil
the Captain
war is
America.
going to be. It's going to be one fight that goes for about 10 minutes, and it's going to be the Avengers having basically still joking around with each other and stuff.
While fighting each other.
They're not. It's basically like they're not going to war killing each other. It's like the start of the movie. It's going to be 3-act structure. So the first act is going to start off with Captain America and the new Avengers taking down Baron Zemo and Crossbones and stuff.
Right.
Then the middle of the film is going to be the Civil War, which is going to be a battle basically on a shipyard with a couple of freight containers behind them. And in the trailer, Hawkeye and like Black Widow are like, so we still going out for dinner tonight? Yeah, that's cool. And then they fight each other and have a quick wrestle. And then the end of the movie is going to be them fighting Hydra again with Red Skull or something.
Oh, Red Skull's in it?
Maybe. But like the Civil War is only going to be like a quick little thing. It's not going to be like the comic where they're killing each other and stuff.
Right, Captain America's not going to die, obviously, right?
No, I don't think so.
So it ain't gonna be like no superhero registry thing or nothing like
Well,
that.
there's going to be a funeral. Agent Carter dies.
Yeah, well, who
Yeah.
cares? She's like 80 anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, exactly, and has Alzheimer's or something.
yeah.
No one dies in Marvel. They just resurrect them in Infinity War.
I don't know. Look at the original Captain Marvel. He ain't back.
Oh, I guess no. I'm talking about the movies though.
Yeah. And then they're gonna set up for Thor Ragnarok.
I'm
Well,
excited for that. It seems like every single Marvel character's in Civil War except for Thor, and he's the only one in Thor Ragnarok.
Is it true that Captain America has the hammer?
I don't.
Thor's-
Well, apparently in the middle of Civil War, the hammer just flies up and disappears in the sky, and that will go into Ragnarok in a scene where the hammer just appears out of the sky in Asgard.
Well, I thought that he's on Asgard and the hammer comes down to Cap.
Oh yeah. Sorry, other way around. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right. Like, in other words, it would go with the next
Cap gonna be the new
person.
Thor?
The next person that is worthy is Cap.
Basically, Ragnarok. Will Ragnarok end with the hammer coming down? Is what you're saying?
Right.
He's gonna die in Ragnarok.
He's going to die, right? But then get resurrected.
Well, that's how I reckon it will start off. I think Thor will be working for Thanos in Infinity War.
That'd be weird.
'Cause I
Then-
think
then you got the
Thanos is gonna
Guardians
have to
of-
kickstart his army with something.
Yeah, then you got like the Guardians of the Galaxy gonna take over from
Maybe Civil War will go into Infinity War. Maybe Civil War will be, half the Avengers fighting the other half, and that will lead into Infinity War where they're still fighting each other.
Well, isn't it supposed to be that they die and then he brings them back in the final Infinity War movie just to fight him again?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway, because there's going to be 10 more Avengers movies after Infinity War anyway.
Yeah, but they're not going to be in it. It's going to be She-Thor and Falcon Captain America and...
Oh, then you got Spider-Man got to have his cameo in there or whatever they're gonna do with
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know that they're not allowed to have any new characters in the Mutants, the Spider-Man books, anything, because they said for some reason with a weird clause that Sony or 20th Century Fox are allowed to take them if they create them.
If they're in
Wow.
the universe of X-Men or
In the comic,
Spider-Man, they're allowed to use them.
Yeah, if they're created.
But why are they making an
They can use
animated
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movie? Why is there an animated Spider-Man movie coming out?
Listen,
Who cares? Why would you go see an animated Spider-Man movie?
They got a
So they wanna
cartoon
do
show
Spider-Gwen.
on what, DX, Disney's DX.
they want to do Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen's the
Nah,
most
they don't
popular
want to
thing.
do Spider-Gwen. They do not want to do that.
Yes, they do. Spider-Gwen is the most... Let me tell you something. Everybody loves Gwen Stacy. That they didn't realize it, that when they did Spider-Gwen, they can't get enough of Gwen Stacy, okay? She's on the cover of every comic on these... I'm telling you, it's a frenzy. Everybody loves Spider-Gwen. There's not one person that hates Spider-Gwen. Now she's going to be stuck in the universe, and she's going to be interacting with Peter Parker, where in her universe, Peter Parker died as the Lizard. Okay, so that's going to be the love interest, okay? Because it's going to be...
Yeah,
It's going to be... It's going to be Spider-Gwen. It's going to be the biggest thing in Marvel.
That's
Oh.
horrible. That's
You know-
terrible.
Dude, it went through like 7, 8
So what they gonna do with
printings.
What they gonna do with
Her-
Miles Morales?
Her comic went through 8 printings, for crying out loud. People just are crazy about it. They put it in video games, shirts. It's nuts. You don't understand how big it's making them tons of money.
Anything makes some money, they gonna run with it.
But this is it, man. This cash cow with Spider-Gwen is phenomenal.
I'm surprised
Oh, and did you
they
hear about this? Oh, I wanted to talk to Hayden about this too. Hayden, Iron Man's new girlfriend is Mary Jane.
What?
Yep. Mary Jane will
you
be
kidding
in
me?
the Iron Man comic as a part of the cast and possible
Well, as long as
girlfriend.
as long as it's not in the movies, 'cause I don't want to see a 15-year-old dating a 50-year-old man.
Well, no, she's older, but because she's had 2 kids already. Well, now the universe has changed, but
Okay, so it's not young Mary Jane
no,
with.
but
Oh, okay, I
Mary
was gonna say,
Jane
that'd
is
be-
30s. Mary
That'd be like her dating, be like R. Kelly trying to date some young girl.
No, Mary Jane's like 30. Tony Stark's like 30
But, like,
something.
Yeah, Tony Stark's way younger in the comics than he is in the movies.
Yeah.
Because he's like an early 20-year-old guy when he's Iron Man in some of the comics.
He's like in his 40s, I think, in the comic, and she's like in her 30s,
Yeah,
something
okay.
like that.
Okay.
Well, actually, the
Kind
way
of like
no.
Batman is.
The last I heard, I think Peter Parker was 26, and Mary Jane was like 26, and I think Iron Man was like 37 or something. But that was back then. Now I don't know what it is now. But also,
Like, whatever happened to what happened to Piper? Not Piper.
I got worse news
Pepper.
for you. I got worse news for you though.
Oh no.
Peter Parker is rich. He has the Spider-Mobile. He
Oh
has
my
the
God, really?
He has the Spider-Mobile. He no longer operates outside New York City. He's in Tokyo and San Francisco, and he
What?
has his famous bodyguard Spider-Man protecting him. Now, what do you think that sounds like?
It sounds like dang
Iron Man.
Batman.
It sounds like Iron Man. Iron
Yep.
Man was the bodyguard of Tony Stark.
So would it be like Iron Spider or something or what? Oh my
Well,
God.
they in the new
What is
comic.
Marvel doing?
Well, listen to this. In the cover of Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Capaldi's on the bus. Did I show you that one?
Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
You got to think though, nobody buys comics anymore. Comics just don't sell anymore, so they'll do anything they can.
No, they do actually. They actually
Yeah, but
do.
50,000 copies is the highest selling comic.
No,
50,000.
Dude, Spider-Man, when he died, made like $10 million.
Yeah, no, I know that, but not
And
weekly.
how much
Like
did Superman
weekly
make when he
issues
died?
don't sell.
Secret Wars, they're making money with them, yes. They are selling. They are selling a lot. Batman is a god now. Superman is a human. The whole world's screwed up. Commissioner Gordon is Batman. Joker is immortal. The Hulk is Chinese. There's a
the sixth smartest person on the planet.
yes, and there's a She-Thor, a She-Wolverine, and a She-Star Fox, and a
I'm
She-Blade.
done. I'm done with it.
And Iceman is gay, and a couple of characters. Oh, there was also an alternate universe where Wolverine and Gambit are boyfriends.
Oh, lovely. How sexy.
They're crazy. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Running out of ideas.
I don't know. Oh, and now they're trying to
Done.
promote.
I'm giving up.
They said in another universe, Gwen Stacy's Deadpool. So it's.
Yeah, but it can't be as bad as that. The worst thing that ever happened in comics was that Gwen Stacy affair with Norman Osborn.
That was the worst thing. That
was
the worst
terrible.
thing. And the
That was
9/11
bad.
thing. And the 9/11 thing.
What was the 9/11 thing?
The 9/11 thing is that they said that there's a superhero on every corner, yet for some reason that day everybody was busy. And nobody was around.
What, they actually acknowledged 9/11 in the comics.
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
They had the Kingpin of Crime. I think they had the Red. They had Doctor Doom, and they had all these villains standing on Ground Zero, and they're saying, "Yeah, you think these guys are bad? The terrorists are worse." And they had like Doctor Doom crying, like he's going to take out the terrorists. Like the Red Skull is a Nazi. It's like, what are you talking about? Like these people wrote this.
Look at that,
like
Joe.
yeah, I remember that. The Red Skull killed. Doctor Doom killed thousands of people. Red Skull killed thousands of people. Kingpin killed thousands of people. But yet they make it like, but they're not as bad as the terrorists. And they did the whole thing about it. I'm like, are you crazy? That was that and the Gwen Stacy Norman Osborn thing was the worst thing in Marvel Comics history. Period.
Well, that's it for comics, isn't it? It's all over now.
Well, we'll see.
Just
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that, Joe. That's an interesting question.
But
I've been watching a lot of like 9/11 videos and stuff,
okay.
and obviously you were around in New York back then.
Staten Island, but I was going to work and
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
that day like? What can you remember that day?
I remember-
Recount
okay.
what happened?
okay. I remember being in my car traveling to work because I had to unload a truck at KB Toys. We had
Was
to
this when
unload-
you were still living with your ex-wife? With
No. But no. Well, not to get into that, but I was by myself for years. No,
but you
no, I
had
was-
your kids back then, didn't you?
Yes, they were. So I was going to work, listening to KTU on the radio,
Yep.
and all of a sudden, they started doing news on KTU, which you would never hear news on like Z100 or KTU. There's like just music.
So what's KTU? For a bit of background knowledge, what is KTU?
It's like KTU and Z100, like the top two channels with the music, the hottest music. The like the top 10, the top 30, whatever was
And they
in or
don't
hot
do
at the time.
news usually.
They don't do news things. So all of a sudden there was like it was the people on the show doing news, and I was like, I thought something right away. I said something's really messed up. And I remember seeing smoke from looking at across the water from New York. You know, I'm like, what the heck is that? Now, I went to work, and the truck. We were all talking about where unloading the truck, and we were like, I was talking to my manager, and like the whole company, everybody started panicking. Okay, they forced us to speed to the truck, and they said we're closing the store. Because at the time there was a lot of stuff going on in Staten Island that, besides that there was terrorists in Staten Island. They closing the bridge. They were doing all this crazy stuff. So stores started closing in the middle of like the morning, like for no reason. It was like panic. I remember going into the parking lot and I see all these people crying because their husband was in the building. Their son was in the building. Everybody was crying and holding each other. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, when I found out the news, I was like horrified because my father worked in the city, and my father always passed through that, you know, the Twin Towers. So I'm like, you know, but my father was actually out, I think, for the week or something. He was sick or something. But it was like, but when he went back to work, he had to wear a gas mask to go, like a mask to go to work. But it was just like, I remember seeing it, and I just watched it every day, all day. And the next day was even worse because the next day there was a threat that they were going to bomb the schools, and I left work and I ran to the kids. It was a nightmare. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Were you like up all night that
I
night?
was up all night watching it over and over, every angle, everything. I think besides seeing Star Wars, that was the thing I watched the most of any news event, over and over. And every year I would watch it over.
Could you
and
see
over.
anything going on from the city? Could you see the towers from where you were?
You could see the smoke.
So you couldn't see it when they collapsed. You know how
But
when they collapsed.
But there was a vibration.
Yeah.
There was vibrations by places that were close to the water and stuff.
So
But
is
the-
Staten Island a fair bit away from the city, though?
Staten Island's it's an island, and then you got to go on the ferry, and then it's a distance, you know.
But don't you work in the city?
Yeah.
Back then I worked in Staten Island,
Okay. Is that when you worked at the toy store?
and now
Okay.
I have to go through the city to go to work.
Wow.
But it was just.
Yeah, I wasn't good.
I'll give you another horror story. when that after that happened, you just know, like when you travel down every block, how many cars are down each block, like because you memorize going through side streets and everything. After that happened, it was like Staten Island was like in half. It was like people died.
I got to get ready to go, guys.
There was less cars on the road. It was like really weird. I remember thinking that. I'm like, there was constant funerals. It was like everybody was just talking about it every day, that somehow you knew somebody that knew somebody, and it was horrible. It was constantly death every day in a topic of conversation. This one died from that. This one, and that's all you heard about for like months. It was like, and besides that, when this was happening, they didn't know what was going on because they thought that there was multiple planes, like 7. Then even the vice president, Cheney, didn't even know if he shot a plane down that killed all those people, and it wasn't him. It was one that hit the one that crashed, and then there was the other one that went to the Pentagon. So it was like unlike anything I've ever experienced. I never want to go through that again. That's just.
In 2006, I was up in New York, and I went to Ground Zero. At the time, it was before they did the memorial, before they built that, and I got out of the taxi, and they had the fence around it. You couldn't get close. But I went up to it, and I'm telling you, it was eerie. If you listen very closely, you could hear the screaming. And it was like really weird because there was no screaming. But for some reason, there's like the
I couldn't go to the city for a while.
Yeah.
For a while, for a long time. Like, really.
Have you been to the memorial there now, Joe? Have you looked at the memorial?
I've passed by. I haven't gone in, no.
What's it like? Is it big?
To tell you the truth, I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know why I didn't go, actually.
There's a museum that you go. There's pictures of everybody who died.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
can
why.
go tomorrow. Go tomorrow with Sharon.
No, we're actually going Sunday. We're babysitting, so we're going to the city. So we're close to the Freedom
So
Tower.
you actually live close enough to walk through New York City, as in like
No,
Times Square
dude,
and stuff?
I'm far. The Staten Island is like a whole island, and you have to take a ferry that takes you 22 minutes to go to the city.
So no, I'm saying, like, do you go to New York City often?
I'm in New York City every day.
Do you go in Times Square?
I'm in Times Square every day.
Yeah.
Every day, because I have to walk through there to go. I'm down 42nd Street, and I go, depending on how I go to work. If I get off at the subway, the one, then I walk up 42nd Street. I pass by Aladdin Theater. I mean, and I find myself when I get home, I walk through Times Square, and I'm constantly there, constantly.
You ever thought about moving into the city?
No way.
Too packed?
Too
busy?
No, I'm not rich, so you can't live in there. You have to be super rich.
I want to move to New York one day.
It's a nice. I mean, it's really nice, but I would never be that rich to live there. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Staten Island, I like staying on Staten Island, living here. Things may change, but I'm happy.
Isn't Spider-Man from Staten Island?
No, from the city.
No, is he from Manhattan, is he?
He's Soho, I think, right? In the Village?
He lives in the suburbs.
Right? I think Soho, right? Him and Mary Jane live in Soho.
You can go to Staten Island in the Spider-Man game. You can swing there, can't you?
But how is that possible? Because you have to go with the water. You can't really swing into
Yeah,
stuff.
you can catch the ferry. Spider-Man 2.
In the city?
Yeah.
Well, didn't you see some of my videos when I did? Back in the day, I did like going on the ferry, going across. I did some
Yeah, I
videos.
didn't know where you were going, though.
Yeah, I was showing from Staten Island to whatever. I think I did a whole video one day where I just ran the whole video.
You got a car now? Are you still getting a limo everywhere?
No, I haven't done the limo thing in a while.
Taxi?
That kind of outlived its thing. I don't like that anymore. I mean, we were in it like 40 or 50 some odd times. That was like.
You walk heaps, though, don't you?
Huh?
You walk heaps.
Well, it's good walking too because you lose weight. So like I like my routine where I just walk to the train, walk to this, walk to that, and then on the weekend we're walking all over the place. We're walking down the boardwalk. I like that. Actually, I'm getting used to that now. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm maybe getting a car soon though. But yeah.
Oh, an absolute perler
What?
of a car.
It's gonna be a nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
No, it's good.
Yeah, man. So.
Good backstory.
Yeah.
The life of Joe.
It's not that interesting, really. Working every day and working a lot of hours and then come back and do
More
podcasts.
interesting than some people's lives, I guess.
Guess. Keep busy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this new book out now, too.
Yeah, how's that going?
But, I mean, it's hard because, I got to put time into it. So if I put
Yeah.
time into it, then time goes away from YouTube or time goes away from work, and I can't do that with work. So I want to try to get the book out this year, like at least one, because I used to always put out something a year until the hurricane happened. Then when the hurricane happened, then that year, 2013, was the year that I didn't do any books. And that was crazy.
That hurricane was a huge deal.
That was a huge deal. That was a bad deal.
Yeah, I'd never realized how
You
big
know,
that hurricane.
The whole thing is that in life, you're always trying to go to the next level,
Yeah.
And then something happens, and
And it brings you back down to reality.
No, it's like, say you're here, right? And then you're trying to get to this level, right? Something happens, and you're down lower than you've ever been. And it's
Yeah.
like an effort just to get back to here.
Yes. I know what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not here yet. I mean, well, actually, not really. I mean, it was a big deal. So it's kind of like, I don't know, in some ways I am higher, but in some ways I'm not. It's not completely yet.
You going alright? You got Sharon?
Hmm?
You got Sharon, you going alright?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Better than you were a couple years ago at least, so that's good.
That was right before the hurricane.
Yeah.
We were going out right before the hurricane, yeah.
Did you only start going out a couple years ago?
Oh, it was the 21st, and then the hurricane happened not even a week later.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But isn't Sharon a teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I'm getting into,
Yeah.
teaching.
Cool.
High school teaching.
That's good, bro.
Yeah, English teaching, to be precise.
Good, man. That's
My niece
good.
is an English teacher.
Yeah.
I want
Good
to
money,
do.
you know. Good job.
I want to. Well, another thing too. I'm going for. He wants me to go for different things for the medical field. He
Yeah.
wants to put me through school for some stuff. So,
Bit of college stuff.
I mean, he's going to do it for me. So, I mean, it's like, might as well, right?
That's awesome.
5 years down the track, you could be living in a penthouse in New York City.
We always joke that this is the penthouse because the first mail I got was from Verizon, and they got the address that they called it the penthouse. So that's why
So
we call this
are
the
you
penthouse.
living together now, though? Do you live there together?
No. Just eventually it will be, but
Yeah. No, because I remember you were living with your friend for ages.
yeah. But now it's. I mean, things are going to change within the next year or so. So.
Yeah. What are you, like, 3-year anniversary together now or something?
It will be October 21st.
Wow. Yay!
The day Marty McFly comes from the year.
It is also. It's funny,
1985.
right? It's October 21st, 2015 is when Marty McFly, right? And it's also
Yeah.
I must have these dates in my head because it was also the release date of my second book.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Song. So it's like
How long ago was that, your second book? Jeez.
that was 2010.
Oh, I can't even remember. What was your second book? Was that...
Tomorrow
remember.
Song. It was like 10. It was supposed to be 10 years after Sorrow Separation. The man of nothing has a new life and with a new romance with the Brooklyn girl. Yeah, it was an interesting thing. And then
What an iconic book. The Sorrow of Separation.
yeah, but you know what it is? It's more. It used to be poetry. Now it's story. I mean, now we got. It's the sci-fi book has leaked into it. We have a nemesis that's the Shadow. He's a time traveler. We have an angel. That's
Stick it in there too.
see I see a lot of people just think it's poetry and they laugh, and no, it's not. It's kind of a little bit sci-fi too, because we got the angel being sent to stop the unnatural. That's basically would affect time. And she has to deal with the shadow, which is trying to destroy the man in nothing's life. And the reason why it's called the man in nothing is because he just keeps losing everything, but he keeps bouncing back. So this guy can never win, the shadow guy. And then now it's at a point in time with the man in nothing where he's going to be changing. Like, things are happy, things are great. And then we have another time traveler now that's very close with the shadow, which is Slayer, and she is the final chapter of this guy's life. That she calls herself that, meaning that while the shadow will make the guy suffer, Slayer was just going to kill him. That's what she wants to do. She's giving him his time to deal with the man of nothing, but she's going to step in and she's going to stab him and she's going to kill him. That's basically what's going to happen. So it's an interesting take. I mean, we have the faith aspect, we have the sci-fi aspect, we have the depression aspect, and people go through real life. We have a relationship aspect. It's got everything in there.
It's still partly based on your life, isn't it?
No, it's fictional. It's fictional because that stuff is, these are fictional characters. Like I said, when I first started the books, they were emotions, but my emotions. But it's basically like, would you say that Darth Vader is George Lucas's life? No. But it's coming from different things that he went through. You know what I'm saying? Like Star Wars, certainly. So that's what it's like. It's like, I like time travel ever since Doctor Who and Back to the Future and all that stuff, and I threw that in there, and you got this.
What an absolute classic!
I know. I actually was in at Back to the Future magazine. I think it might have been the last one. I did a whole theory pre-Matrix Lord 212 about how the alternate universe and stuff like that. So.
You're a big Back to the Future fan?
Huge. Yep. Really big.
Yeah, it's a good franchise, I'll give it that. That's
the next thing I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do, big thing that I'm going to do, is I want to get the DeLorean and rent it. You could do that for like a couple of days or something.
Would you? I'd be keen for a Back to the Future 4.
We already have that in Dimensions.
My favorite, it's one of my Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy ever.
What's that?
It's one of my favorite trilogies ever. Every single time it's on TV, I watch it, and then I have every year I watch it. I definitely watch it on like the premiere, the anniversary of when it first came out, and everything.
I wanted to go to Radio City Music Hall. They're gonna have the score they're gonna play.
Yeah. Yeah. They had it over in LA in the Hollywood Bowl. They had the score, then they played the movie.
And they got the comic coming out now too. And they got Doc Brown is what do you call Christopher Lloyd is voicing Doc Brown, which teams up with the Doctor in the video game. And Missy and Clara with the Doctor and Marty. That's amazing. I always wish I was
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
I love that. I'm so happy about that. So.
It definitely is going to be awesome.
I love that stuff crossover, in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I get to see that.
I guess I might have to watch Doctor Who tonight.
I guess you have to.
We'll
what did you miss? The Christmas one?
Last season I was all over the place. Like, I'd watch one episode, turn it off halfway through, then I'd watch 2 episodes and like it, and then I'd not like one episode and then
no matter what, you got to watch it all, even if you don't like it, because it's not always going to be when you're not going to like it. I mean, some people, when we used to do our shows, Real Means Cast, people couldn't stand. There's some people I think used to be on our show that didn't like David Tennant, and they always complained.
Well, they're idiots.
Well, that's the whole thing. They used to always complain, and then when I complain about things, they're like, "You're a hater." But meanwhile, if you look back, they're like, "I hated this David Tennant episode. I hated this David Tennant episode," and I would love every one of them. So it was like.
I don't know. Series 8 was my probably least favorite series by a mile.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
I didn't like. I liked if I think I liked 4 episodes. I liked Time Heist.
I
Oh,
hated
good.
that. I don't like that at all.
I liked The Caretaker.
I love that.
Oh, very good.
I liked Dark Water.
That was probably of the season. That's probably my
But
favorite.
then the payoff was horrible in Death in Heaven. The whole thing
Horrible.
just made no sense.
I
Like the
was
whole Nethersphere didn't make any logical sense about how it existed or what it was or how like was she conjuring up every dead person in history or only the ones buried on Earth?
there was. Let me tell you something. Somehow she rigged it where millions of people are in the Nethersphere. So leads me to believe why Clara wouldn't go right to the Nethersphere if she dies.
Yeah.
But we will talk about that on Doctor Who. I try not to get Doctor Who into the everything show.
Yeah.
You know that, but
But yeah, definitely mine.
But
is
yeah, no, four episodes I think I liked.
Mummy and the Orient Express.
Kill the Moon pissed me off.
I turned that off 20 minutes in.
Pissed me off. That was the one episode that pissed me off. Brought me back memories of Journey in the Sensitive Toilet. I mean that pissed me off beyond belief. But this one really pissed me off.
I hated Into the Dalek. I thought it was boring. I've seen it a million times. Like it was just so corny, and I did not like Journey Blue. I thought it was just one of those boring characters.
It was okay. I liked it, but I liked Robin Hood a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one at all.
Really?
I didn't mind the No, I actually kind of liked the what was that one? The Listen. I kind of liked that.
I like Listen, but if you look at it, you see all these different episodes that it was.
Yeah. But I like it for the human aspect, you know.
There were certain episodes that I didn't like, but they had some moments in there that was one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
I think Kill the Moon had the moment where Clara flipped out at the Doctor.
Yeah.
But I just hated that episode, and I hated the Mummy episode, and I hated Flatline, and I hated The Forest of the Night. I thought that was like a 2-year-old's television series, like
That was
Teletubbies
weird.
or something. It was terrible.
Time Heist, The Mummy and the Orient Express, and A Flatline.
And then Death in Heaven was just, I thought it was like, what the hell is this?
And Dark Water.
It's you know what it's like? It's like when we saw Star Wars, we envisioned what it would be like before, and then when you actually see it, you're like, oh,
Let down. Yeah.
that's what it is.
With Doctor Who, you don't see anything before and envision it. You just go, oh, well, I can tell what this is going to be like, because you know
I
Moffat
just-
by now.
I know, but the thing was, it's like we saw what happened in Dark Water, and then you go into, and you're like, ah. Now
It's
you
like- it
get
had so
Clara
much
as the
potential, like,
Doctor,
they were-
and like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like,
Like the storylines they were going down, like the themes of death and afterlife, like scaring the hell out of kids.
That
with
was
all that
amazing.
Sort of stuff. Yeah, and then it's like we're gonna have Cybermen. Okay.
When he said go to hell, right? She's like, okay, no, we're going to hell. I was like, I for a minute I was like, the TARDIS could go there. I was like, what are you talking about? I got like all weirded out. I didn't understand, you know. And then when he went there, I'm like, that was freaky. That place.
Was that
you know,
the Nethersphere?
That I don't know where that was, but that was freaky. I liked it though.
Are they going to hell in this season, aren't they?
They say no, they're going to Scarl, but they're like,
I think what he meant is it was like hell.
yeah, I get.
But wait, wasn't Scarrow destroyed in the Time War?
Yeah, we don't know why he came back. It's just nobody explained anything. So
Didn't they say Didn't they say in the Bad Wolf episode in season 1 that Scarrow was destroyed?
Scar was destroyed because the Seventh Doctor had sent the Hand of Omega in remembrance of the Daleks into the sun that blew it up and destroyed Scarrow. That's how it was destroyed. And then for some reason it had popped up that it was around in the Seventh Doctor's end time into Eighth Doctor. They didn't explain why Scarrow was still there. And then they explained that Scarrow was inside the Daleks, and then they explained why that was there. They just didn't explain anything. Like, that's the
They
problem.
don't explain much, do they?
They should explain certain things, like why the Doctor left an angel in Manhattan so it can grow again and take over the world. Like, I don't understand that. I mean, I know you're upset that your companion died, but like, why don't you go back and get the angel? Like, I don't understand like why you left it there. You know. So,
Yeah, it was just really. I don't know. It's just the series has a lot of potential sometimes, and sometimes it really just lets you down.
I think when Russell T Davis had Moffat, Moffat was doing perfection because Russell T Davis was checking his work. When Moffat does it on his own, everybody's afraid to say to Moffat, "Hey, that kind of doesn't
It's
make
like
sense."
George Lucas, Star Wars prequels.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody's afraid to tell Moffat, you know, that kind of doesn't make sense because they're afraid.
What makes Sherlock so good is because he has a co-writer. He has someone to run it with him.
Yeah, he's not the only showrunner. It's Mark Gatiss.
Why, remember Doctor Who when, Graham Harper used to direct? I remember his episodes. Whatever happened to Graham Harper? He just dropped off the face of the earth.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I never really researched what happened to some of these people. I want to know what happened to the guy that wrote Satan Pit and Possible
I seriously.
Possible Planet.
The director is the biggest person in a film, so surely a director would have some input on a Doctor Who episode.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't mind if Stephen Moffat stayed, longer. I just think he should have like you said, a secondary, a co-writer.
Russell T Davies.
If he had somebody that he had to answer to back and forth, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
Russell T Davies.
Because what happened? Yes, because you have an ego, and then you're like, no, man, I'm doing that. And
Or
you're like,
even-
but
Russell T Davies got the show. That's the thing.
I want him back, Russell T Davis. To tell you the truth.
The problem is, a lot of people say, and this is controversial, but a lot of people say the difference is Russell T Davies knew how to write female characters who were strong female characters.
I think what happened was Russell T Davis trusted his writers to write what they wanted to write. And that is why, of course, you had the other side of the coin where who wrote Love and Monsters?
Russell T Davies.
He wrote that.
Yeah.
That's bad. All right, well, whatever. Let's see that now.
Hey, I enjoyed that episode.
I
Did you
didn't like
really?
that much either.
I actually liked that episode.
Well, then Moffat did Beast Below. And,
I liked that whole thing with Elton
yeah.
and how he was fixing the washing machine for Jackie Tyler.
Oh, my God.
I just liked it because they had ELO music.
That's ridiculous.
And they had the karaoke. Oh, that was stupid though. How he had her face on the cement, and at the end he was like,
That was the worst thing I think they've ever done in Doctor Who history.
that was really sexual
That's
innuendo.
Yeah, I
though.
don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah.
It was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that either.
I don't know, but they seem to do what they think's necessary, even though it's not.
Yeah. We got to do a season premiere of the Horrorcast, too.
Yeah.
Have you watched Mr. Robot, Joe?
No, I didn't.
I
How was
did.
that?
Was it any good, Gloria?
It had its moments of
Yeah.
great, and it had its moments of stupidity too.
Because I'm hearing it's good. That's what I'm getting told.
Overall, I guess okay, but I got to where I wasn't a fan of it by the end of the first season. I'm probably not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I love Rami Malek, the lead actor in it, and of course Christian Slater is awesome, but I don't think it's good enough for me to keep watching, huh?
Yeah.
We're watching Fear of the Walking Dead. Humans, I got to get caught up with because I started watching that. American Horror Story's coming back. I got to see that. Real Walking Dead's coming back. Got to see that. Then I guess in April is what? Game of Thrones, The Penny Dreadful, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you caught up to Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jon Snow, man, is coming back. I'm so happy.
Nah, I don't know.
He is?
Hey, Hagen, a friend of mine met him in Scotland. He still had the beard in there. You know, the
He's
hair.
coming back. He's definitely coming
And
back.
he asked him about it, and all he did was weep.
Yeah, he's coming back.
And then he let it kind of slip in an interview that he still has more to do with the show.
He's back. He's already back.
Somehow.
He's been filming with them.
Somehow he's back.
He's back.
That
Well,
was a very sad ending. That was like,
probably.
oh.
The witch brought him back, probably.
Yeah.
Didn't your gut just go, ugh, when you just saw him just
I
stab him?
got so sick when I saw that.
Yeah.
Even saw me on the podcast every day, even if it was not even everything show. It could be the real movie, and I'm like, Jon Snow's dead. And I was right, Gloria.
Is Stannis dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Did she kill him?
Yeah,
We didn't see it.
Stannis Baratheon. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
We didn't
Dead,
see
dead.
it.
No, he's dead. He's dead. What do you mean you didn't see it? He was gutted how many times?
We
The
didn't see
Hound
it.
is coming back. Come on, man. He's done.
Is that the Hound who carried
He's coming
Cersei?
back. He's coming back, the Hound. No, that wasn't the Hound. Oh, actually,
That was
maybe.
the Mountain.
No, actually, I don't know. That was what that
Was
was.
the Mountain?
Oh, the
The
Mountain, yeah.
Mountain.
Yeah, they broke the guy's face, yeah.
Ow.
You raped her, you murdered her, you killed the children. I'm gonna squash your head in like
But wasn't that from The Princess Bride? The lines that he was saying was similar.
No, that was my you killed my family, prepare to die, I think, or something.
Right, but didn't he say? What did he say in this one? What was the line he said before he got his face crushed?
Ow.
I don't know.
I forgot.
Wreck
I gotta go. I got it taped. I go watch it.
Yeah.
Penny Dreadful was started filming already. Billy Piper back. We're gonna have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in Penny Dreadful. That's interesting. Bates Motel is coming back for 2 more seasons. That's good. So,
Finally got into that.
yeah. So, oh,
Yeah.
Hayden, what did you think about Friday the 13th on the CW?
I don't care.
What
I don't care.
about the
Hey,
Scream stuff on MTV? Did you see that?
Scream? Isn't that like, ugh? No, not keen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we're gonna get off here. I don't know if you guys want to do another cast. If not, we'll talk about it off air. Other than that,
Yeah.
thanks for the season premiere of the Everything Show. Take care. Bye for now.